Istanbul is nestled at a decisively crucial location. It is the only city pan-continent in the world that is set on two continents, Europe and Asia. The Bosphorus, the Strait of Istanbul, passes through the city, which is part of the continental boundary between Europe and Asia. It separates the Anatolia, Asian Turkey, and Thrace, European Turkey. The two sides of the Bosphorus are known as the Asian and European sides of Istanbul. Istanbul is a coastal city hedging between the Black Sea and Sea of Marmara. Notably, the coastline in Istanbul stretches over 450 kilometers. The Bosphorus Strait is the only passageway from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean and the Sea of Marmara. The Golden Horn in Istanbul is a large estuary that is also the primary inlet of the Bosphorus from where it meets the Sea of Marmara. Golden Horn separates the Beyoğlu district, the northern section of European Istanbul, from Old Istanbul. It is named Golden Horn because the water appears golden as the golden sunlight reflects on the water. There are about 85 approachable beaches, many of which are within 30 to 40 minutes from the city center. Remarkably, the visitors have three choices of swimming spots. In the south, there is the Sea of Marmara. In the north, the Black Sea, and the Bosphorus Strait is in the middle of these two. Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, is Turkey's primary seaport and the largest city. It has had a dominant status since the early times and was the capital of the Byzantine and Ottoman empires as well. Even today, Istanbul is not the capital of Turkey, still is the largest city in Turkey, about 3 times bigger than Ankara, the capital of Turkey. There are 39 districts in Istanbul, including Fatih, which is the city's historic downtown. The most notable historical sites of Istanbul are spread across the Sultanate neighborhood of Fatih. One of the 81 provinces of Turkey, Istanbul is the most populous province. It has an urban population of around 15.5 million. Notably, Istanbul is the 13th largest city in the world in terms of population and the most densely populated city in Europe. About 99% of the population of Istanbul is Muslim, as per the Turkish government. From this, around 78% of the population is Hanafi Sunni. There are beyond 3,000 mosques in the city. Apart from these stats, only 28% of the residents originally belonged to this city. Most people have migrated from other cities in Turkey. Since the Stone Age, human beings have lived in the area well known as Istanbul today. There is evidence of settlements in this region in the early times, around the 6th millennium BCE. It is said that the Greeks founded Byzantium city in 657 BCE. As per an ancient legend, it was discovered by a ruler named Byzas from Megara city, a city near Athens. There was an acropolis constructed at the place where the Topkapi Palace stands. For ages, Istanbul has been called by different names. The notable ones from them are Lygos, Augusta Antonina, Byzantium, New Rome, and Constantinople. Notably, Pliny the Elder, a Roman history writer, specified that Lygos was the foremost name of Istanbul. For over 1,500 years, Istanbul has functioned as an imperial capital. This city was the capital of the Eastern Roman from 330 to 1204, Latin from 1204 to 1261, Byzantine from 1261 to 1453, and Ottoman Empire from 1453 to 1922. Constantinople was the most powerful city in Europe, often under the Byzantine Empire's reign. Istanbul was conquered by Sultan Mehmed II, the Ottoman ruler from northwestern Turkey in 1453. He then began the reign of the Ottoman Empire, which lasted till 1922. Under the longest ruling Ottoman Sultan, Suleiman the Magnificent, 1520 to 1566, Istanbul flourished in art. He built a multitude of large mosques, including the Süleymaniye Mosque. All this gave its distinct skyline to Istanbul. Istanbul is home to one of the most renowned pieces of architecture, Hagia Sophia. Justinian built the Hagia Sophia in 537 CE as the primary cathedral of Constantinople. For about 1,000 years, Hagia Sophia remained the largest cathedral in the world until the Constantinople conquest. After this, Hagia Sophia was a mosque till 1935, and then it was converted into a museum. Later on, it was again converted into a mosque in 2020. Another world-famous architectural site in Istanbul is Sultan Ahmed Mosque, or the Blue Mosque. Sultan Ahmed ordered the construction of this ever-popular Sultan Ahmed Mosque at the age of 19. In 1616, its construction was finished. It is called the Blue Mosque due to its interior's presence of blue tiles. Also, it is the only mosque throughout Istanbul that has 6 minarets. One of the city's most iconic structures, the Galata Tower, was constructed in 1348 at the peak of guarded walls. It was utilized to keep prisoners of war. The tower was originally called the Tower of Christ and became an observatory laterwards. Today, it is a notable attraction in Istanbul that offers a 360 degrees view of the city. There are beyond 60 hammams or Turkish baths in Istanbul. Many admirable hammams were built by the Ottomans in Constantinople. It supplemented the bathing culture of the Romans, the earlier inhabitants of the city. Hundreds of water cisterns are there below Istanbul. Constructed back in the 6th century, the Basilica cistern is the largest and most popular one. Sultanahmet Square, or Hippodrome, is a huge park located near the Hagia Sophia and next to the Blue Mosque, which was previously a caravan racing stadium. It embraces an Egyptian obelisk and the serpentine column from the Greek temple of Apollo in Delphi. The former residence of the Ottoman sultans, the Topkapi Palace, is a vast museum situated in the Fatih district. The museum collection includes some of the holiest Islamic relics, Ottoman clothing and weapons, miniatures, and illuminated manuscripts. The San Marco Cathedral in Venice embraces 4 bronze horses that were taken by the militants from Constantinople in the 13th century. With beyond 90 million yearly visitors, the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul is regarded as one of the most famous attractions in the world. It is the largest and oldest historical market in the world. This market spans 307,000 square meters and consists of 61 streets with 3,000 shops. You will need 3 days to explore the entire market. The tunnel, constructed in 1875 in Istanbul, is the second oldest urban rail line across the globe, preceding the London Underground. It goes to an elevation of 573 m from sea level and is operational today. The cuisine of Istanbul city embraces a fusion of influences, including Middle Eastern, Central Asian, Mediterranean, Balkan, Eastern European, Georgian, and Armenian cuisines. Istanbul is also known as the City of Seven Hills, like Rome. It got this nickname from the Byzantine Constantinople, built on 7 hills following Rome's model. However, the city has over 50 hills. The tulip is a traditional symbol of Istanbul and Turkey. With the blooming of Turkish tulips towards March ending, Istanbul hosts its yearly tulip festival in April. This is a common myth that the Netherlands is the land of the origin of tulips. Turkey was the foremost country that started cultivating tulips, and these were extensively cultivated during the Ottoman Empire. Tulips were later sent to the Netherlands and other parts of Europe from Turkey. The Istiklal Street in Beyoğlu is the most popular street across Istanbul. This street observes around 3 million visitors per day on weekends. Numerous cats dwell on the streets of Istanbul. The residents have made houses for such cats in different parks and streets. A popular cat that resided in the Hagia Sophia died in 2020, which was in headlines across Turkey and the world.